This is the LG Muziq phone available from Sprint. Muziq, spelled M-U-Z-I-Q, pretends to be a replacement for your MP3 player. Do its music playback capabilities, though, really live up to those expectations? Let's check it out. You can see the exterior screen here lets you interact with your music library paired with the touch capacitance D-pad. Unlocking the phone lets you use the buttons to play your music. The touch capacitance button here does provide some haptic feedback, a little micro pulse vibration so that you can feel that you've pressed the buttons and interacted with them. On the left side of the phone you can see the volume rocker here, which is located on the top half of the phone. We'll get to that in just a second. There's also the power port here. On the right side of the phone is the non-standard headphone jack as well as micro SD port. And again, we have the music and camera buttons on the top portion of the phone. The reason that's hinky is because when you're holding the phone normally, reaching your hand all the way up here to interact with either the volume button or the camera music button is awkward at best. While we have the phone open, let's take a quick look at the keypad, comparing it to the LG Muziq, which the Muziq sort of replaces. If you look at the interior, you can see that they're vastly different phones. Where the Muziq has very small buttons here that are difficult to use, the Muziq has much bigger buttons that are spaced nicely and work well. Aside from the differences in the keypad, the form factor of the Muziq is also quite an update from the Muziq. If you look at the two combined or next to each other, you can see that the Muziq is longer, a little bit wider, but is definitely thinner and loses the external antenna. This makes it a much more pocket-friendly device. It also has a little bit more elegant styling than the Muziq does. Aside from the improved styling though, the Muziq is not that much of an improvement over the Muziq with respect to the music player. Let's find out why. With the music theme here set to go, it's a couple of steps to dive into your music. You'll notice that it opens up the Sprint Music Store and player combined. You simply move the tab sideways to switch between the store or your player. Because we have only one signal of coverage here in my basement, you can see it's a little bit slow. But in the player, you have several different options to view all your tunes or look at playlists. Let's take a look at all of our music so that we can see what makes this player a little bit clunky to use. Here we have our songs listed. Now the songs are not listed in any seeming order at all. It seems to be a pretty random sprinkling of songs. They're not even listed from the first song from each CD that they happen to be on. It's just really a random sampling of the songs. If you scroll one over to the artists, you can see that the artists are pulled out to the left a little bit there, and then each song from that artist is listed underneath. But this is not any easier in finding songs quickly because you have to scroll through the entire library to get down to the bottom. And lastly, genres is just as ineffective to browse. You basically have to just walk your way down between the different genres but still view all your music at the same time. Other music playing phones will allow you to see the artists without the track listing, so you can quickly zoom through and find the artist you want rather than scrolling through your entire library. Once you've picked which artist you want to listen to, hitting the menu button will bring up that song and start playing it. So here you can see a pretty simple interface, and because we downloaded this song from the Sprint Music Store, we also have the album art. Here, we'll turn up the volume a little bit. But here the controls are they're very simple and plain. You can fast forward or rewind or pause it. Or you can go to the menu, which basically just lets you do those same things or shuffle the order or go back to the home screens. So the options here are very limited. Hitting the back key continues playing the song but lets you interact with your library again. For songs that we didn't download from the library though, you can see that there's no cover art. So we get just this very simple, plain interface. While the music playback capabilities may be functional and not fantastic, the Muziq does offer the usual assortment of services and features you'd expect from a PowerVision phone, including a camera, stereo Bluetooth for the music playback, connections to Sprint TV services on demand in the mobile web, and many other features.